Hey, Jeff Howard here at Kiteboarding.com. We've had so many questions and so many people contacting me asking me why I have not done the video on the new Cabrinha Fireball. Well, guess what? Here it is, and I'm going to try to not blow any smoke around, but I want to give you the true inputs on this system as we have them side by side with their hook, their normal chicken loop, and the Fireball. So I want to give you a lot of good points about it here that I want to talk to you about and let you know. Now, one of them is, as you can see here, it is a really neat, clean system. Is it any closer? The only difference in distance between being closer is the distance of the hook on the bar. So, is it any truly closer? If anything, maybe about an inch. No big deal in that situation. So, it can be a little bit closer. Now, the benefit is, which is really cool, is that when you get the upward force or downward force or sideways force, because the hook is closer to you, that decreases the leverage either on your twisting of the harness around you or the bar twisting and coming up and eating into your sides. That is a really cool point and keeps it real close and real simple. Now, one thing that they do not recommend is riding with this in an unhooked situation. And now let me explain to you why. A lot of people, if you want to do unhook riding. So underneath here, the way this system works is it's got this ball in here. It's got a little lock device right up underneath here. All you got to do is flick it. If you flick that, it locks the ball in once the ball is in. So once you put the system in here, it's really easy to reconnect. That's one of their deals. If you want to reconnect this deal, it is. But let me tell you, you do not want to unconnect from this when you're out in the water. You want to pay attention to this. The really cool thing is now once it's in there, I flick the lock, that is not coming out on me at all, which is really cool, real simple. You can see how clean that system is, and I like that. Now, one thing you want to make sure you do, if you ever have to do the push away and the release, when you push away and release, do not forget that this ball is in the harness. If you're out in the water, when you want to reconnect, make sure that you reset this, because they have a little notch here on all of their chicken loops, so it's easy to reset, but do not disconnect this from your harness when doing this. And you ask me why? Because if you do that and you try to get this thing out as you're hanging on to this and it's out there and you pull this ball down, all you have is this. So if you lose this, it's not going to get reconnected. So I advise you, make sure that you leave this in your harness locked into the system when you go to do your reconnect. It's not hard to do. It's very simple. Cabrinha's got a really simple and clean little reconnect. Whoop. So let me get this reconnected. All right, so once it's all reconnected in there, pay attention to that. So the system works just as easy as any other one on the release and everything else. Now, one thing I want to talk about is here's the normal chicken loop here. Now, what they talk about is no fouling, no foul hooking. And some people are going, what do they mean by foul hooking? What happens is in a normal chicken loop, if you go and you hook into the hook and you go to lock in with the lock tube in here, and all of a sudden this gets a little bit bent over sideways, it can accidentally come unhooked from the system. It'll flip out of here, the lock tube isn't stiff enough down here. Cabrinha's, I haven't had any of those issues because they make this really nice one here, and it's reinforced and it's a lot thicker down here, so it doesn't have a lot of that foul hooking. So if you're hooked in, you go over to one side or another side and this flips out on you. Now, the big benefit is, on a chicken loop system, if I release from this, everything stays together right here. There are no extra pieces and parts. So when I release, this goes away, it comes back to me, there's no pieces and parts to miss. That's the thing that I'm questioning here a little, so you've got to make sure you pay attention to that and you won't have any problems. But if you release from this, don't forget that piece in there. That's not anything it'll be in someone's mind to think about after they do that and they do the release. That these chicken loops, there's nothing there. There's nothing to lose. So that's a big benefit there. But that is one of the things on the Fireball system and how it keeps it really nice and clean, and it's very simple. Now, a lot of people will also ask, can I retrofit my earlier bars from past kites into the system? Yes, you can. Cabrinha is going to be coming out with the retrofit kit that's going to come in here, and you can retrofit your older bars into it. Is it very easy and simple? I would say no. for us doing the repairs and checking it out and looking at the system, and you see the videos, it takes a little bit of know-how and a little bit of work to get those things changed out. Changing a 2017 loop, chicken loop, to the Fireball, very, very simple. They did a really cool system up inside of here that all you do is simply, there's other videos out there, undo this little screw here, unscrew this, pull out your safety line, and then re-screw in a Fireball system, and you're ready to go. So changing 2017 from chicken loop to Fireball, not a problem at all, and that's very, very simple. So we want to talk about the bar itself. The main thing about the system here is you have to have no other bar on the industry out there on any harness will work with the Fireball. It has to be the Fireball spreader bar. We have put this bar on so far 4 harnesses here in the shop, a lot of different brands, and it's been very simple, easy to retrofit and hook on, and it's a really nice retrofit. That's the difference. I was curious about how many of these little straps and holes in here will match up with some of the most popular harnesses in the industry, and it does. This is the MP, so they better make it fit their stuff, and it works perfect. I've done it on Dakine, Mystic, Nash, a couple other ones in here that we've had, and they've all retrofitted over to it and work very, very well. Now, the one thing about this thing is a good benefit, is if somebody's out there and they want to try your kite, if they don't have this bar, they can't fly this thing. And you're definitely going to not want them to take off your bar every time and someone to try it out. So if your harness doesn't fit them, there's no way it's going to work. So make sure of that. Now, the other thing that we've been told about is do not use this for unhooked riding. So what I did is I try to figure out why, and there's a couple different reasons. One is, if I leave this unhooked, the lock device undone down here, if I get to pulling on this a little bit and I change my angle, I'm not pulling down on this. I mean, it's a slight pressure. So you see, if it's not locked in, and if I lay back and put any kind of force, this ball will flop out on there under load. So that's one of the reasons. Second off, what I'm noticing and understanding is, if you bump this little spring after you come unhooked, now you're kind of screwed there a little bit. This is up against the bar, you're powered up, and you want to get back in. You have to get your other hand, reset that ball, and get back in there. Now, it is quick and easy, but be aware of that. If you want to do unhooked riding, it's really not recommended as that. So if you do some of that, stick with your standard chicken loop. But if you're almost the 90%, 90-something% people who never unhook, the Fireball system is a really clean and very easy system. And you can see the leverage, the way the system works, it's really clean and very easy to use. So I wanted to give you the points and the positives. Is this the best thing since sliced bread? I would say no. But for those people who like a clean system and try it out and test it and really enjoy it, you will see you will highly enjoy it. I'm one of those that I get out here and I ride and I never unhook. This system will be very nice. Now I've got to retrofit my harness over, but when I'm trying out different kites and letting other people try my kites, I have to make sure that I've got the chicken loop. So on my side of it, I've got to stick with the chicken loops because we loan out so many kites. I want everybody to give it a try. We will have different setups here. We have to have different harnesses. And we're going to try to integrate some of these into our school, but yet we got to make sure that those harnesses are the only ones that work with this system. So it kind of makes it a little bit, but it's a really cool, innovative idea, and I like something different coming into the industry, making it cleaner. When we put some time on this thing, and a lot of time out there riding, we will come back and do some more videos, but right now, I say if it works for you, and you enjoy it, and you test ride it, then you're on. If you've got a bunch of other kites that you're trying to integrate into this, and you have other chicken loops, remember, if you've got other kites with chicken loops, you've got to get a different harness. You cannot ride the same harness, so keep that in mind. So, it's all up to you. I want to give you the 100% thoughts and things about the Fireball system, and if you like it, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to send me an email. Send it here at info@Kiteboarding.com. Give us a call. I will do a video and I will check it out and I will tell you the truth. That's Jeff Howard here at Kiteboarding.com with the new Cabrinha 2017 Fireball system.